don't let the time pass. Sunday, you could bring your mop, you could bring your broom, but don't forget you have to vacuum. Just clean them up fast. Sunday, don't let the time pass. Sunday, it has some BS in ministry and pick appointed by an MP. Then you have to monitor. Are they on board with the agenda? Well, if not, tell them to pack. Your first obligation is to this rock. We'll continue cleaning, but clean up everything. Boy, what we expect, clean up campaign full effect. Clean them up fast, no time to relax. I know it's a task, so clean them up fast, fast, fast. And hey, all hands on deck, we clean it. Mr. Minister, this land was a mystery. Mr. Hotspot and the hotspots, like magicians, were running this country. Mr. Hotspot, you in the hotspot. Many things here in a flash disappear. With passport and land, fall into foreigners' hand. They used to make money jump from account to account. Some had money in fact, but that evaporate. Coffin money dissipate. It's time you disinfect with this. Boots on the ground is not just a trap. Oh, when the lally clean up this one. Fast and don't let the time pass. The contracts of Patrick's in months. Oh, they didn't land in NNP. Send them up fast and don't let the time pass. You have to get that lick sealed. Just clean them up fast, don't let the time pass. Sunday, the loan you got from GDP, it was done legitimately. How did it vaporize straight into the public eye? Such actions you must deposit in a garbage bag, not to rubbish it. We'll continue cleaning, but clean up everything. What we expect, clean up campaign full effect. Clean them up fast, no time to relax. I know it's a task, but clean them up fast, fast, fast. We clean it.
Yes, indeed. And that song there by Monique Cummins. Very, very nice rendition with serious meaning. I want to welcome you to this segment in the program where I will speak, laying the foundation for meaningful engagement. Yeah, so Monique Cummins, that's a really, really nice song there. The meaning and the words are so clearly, sang. You bring it out in a very real way. And I'm not surprised. I featured your songs a number of times in the past. So I am not surprised with that really strong, uh, song of meaning. There I really commend you on that. At this point, I want to feature the Honorable Kireen James. She visited the Limle Solar PV plant in Carriacou, where the government is doing a lot of work to make sure that at least 15% or so of the energy comes from solar up there in Carriacou. That to me is a good thing, very, very good thing. And many a times we don't hear too much from a number of ministers because their ministry is not really out in the public too much, right? They're not featured frequently, although they're doing work, they're getting work done, they're implementing stuff. But let's say Ministry of Works, you're going to see more of that. Let's say Ministry of Agriculture, you're going to see more of the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation. You'll see more of that. uh, the minister in the public, the minister of education. You would see him more. The minister of youth or sports, and but a ministry like climate change and climate resilience and so on, you may not see the minister as often in the public, but she's working. And anyone who goes in that ministry, it will reflect the same. They would not be featured frequently in the public, but I can assure you that she's working extremely hard to get projects and get things at Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. So let's listen to her as she visited that plant in Carriacou.
Minister for Climate Resilience, Honorable Kieran James, you're here in Carriacou today. You just done a site visit at the solar plant in Limla. Give us your take on what is presently being done here in Carriacou.
Well, first of all, let me just start off by saying that I am very pleased with what I'm seeing now. We've been here a couple of months ago and there was no really action happening on the ground. So to actually come back and to see that about 50% of the works already in motion, in play, it signifies that we're on the right path towards implementing this project. As you might be aware, this project started in 2018, so we are way behind schedule in terms of implementing and starting to get the benefits of this plant. I particularly like how the team and Zem and Mazda representatives here in Carriacou explain the layout, explain the reasoning behind the layouts of the panel for best practice and for optimum use of the panels. So I'm very pleased with that. From a technical standpoint, I can't go too much in depth, but just to being an ordinary person, not having any expertise in the field, it was done in a way that it was understandable to everyone present. So that's a plus for me. Carriacou and PT Martinique would be seeing, once this plant is successfully implemented, they would see 600 kilowatts of their electricity generated coming from solar. This would give them just shy of 15 to 20% of their electricity demand now. Initially, this project was designed for 60%, but because of the grid process, the grid issue with Grenlec, we may not be able to take on the maximum of this plant. So the plan for us in our Ministry of Renewable Energy would be to scale up this project in the not so distant future. Once the funding is available, we would scale up to ensure that we get the maximum use and to ensure that Carriacou become the first RE 100% renewable energy source island in Grenada. So I'm excited about that and to be the face of the ministry and to ensure that government meets its ambitious targets towards becoming 140% renewable by 2035 and ultimately 100%. And starting with Carriacou, it's a blessing.
What other plans does your ministry have in terms of renewable energy, including, do you have anything included for PT Martinique?
Definitely. So we do have one for PT Martinique. That one would be a collaboration with Grenlec, of course, as our utility company on island. So PT Martinique, you are not left behind, although Carriacou is advanced than you, but you are not left behind, of course. With regards to mainland Grenada, we have ongoing a geothermal project as well. We are hoping that we can generate 15 megawatts of baseload capacity from that project. We have two sites that we're looking at, one in St. John, Pleasant, and the other one is in St. Patrick. So we are currently going into our exploratory preparations phase so that we can start drilling and creation of the water holding the wells and stuff. So we are well on our way with our geothermal. We have to engage other companies with wave technology, ocean technology, as well as we are in discussions with wind company as well. So we are trying to, and you would recognize and understand that as small islands, it is very difficult for us to stay or to try to go one direction in terms of a particular resource over the other. So what we're doing is having a diverse mix of different renewable energy sources. So we have the solar ongoing, persons in the private sector. Some persons have already made that investment. We are encouraging other persons to make that investment because government can't do it by ourselves. And if we are saying 100% or 40% by 2035, you will see we recognize that government can't do it by ourselves. So we are encouraging the private sector to invest in renewable energy in the state of Grenada. We have the wind, as I made mention too. We are still in the discussion phase of that and finalizing our MOU and stuff. We're looking at ocean, we're looking at wave. But what is unique to me is that as small island developing states, we're not only doing this because we want to lessen our carbon emissions. We are doing so for our own livelihood, our own survival. 1.5 is a target line that we normally echo as small islands, that we cannot go beyond 1.5 degrees. If we do, then we are going to, our lives are at risk. So renewable energy and investing in renewable energy, governments in the region, I would say that it is a way for us to relook regional integration. One of the problems that we have in terms of gaining access towards advancing our efforts for renewable is our economies of scale. We don't have it. So persons, they like the big projects with the 21 megawatts and upwards. Little 1 megawatt to 5, 15. It's good for us, yes, for local consumption, but in terms of having it as an investment, we need that economies of scale. So it is an opportunity for us. We've seen regional integration take a back burner, although we have CARICOM, although we have other organizations for the Caribbean community. But I think renewable energy is the underdog in the midst, and if we're looking at revisiting regional integration, RE would be the way to go. So I'm encouraging our neighboring islands, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, who have already probably even be more advanced than us here in Grenada, to come on board and let us be in this fight together.
Beautiful. Wonderful there. So that was the Honorable Kireen James. She is the minister responsible for climate change, climate resilience, and so on. I think she's doing a wonderful job because her ministry is really to get the projects, to do all the work to reach to the phase where they implement, right? So another ministry might implement or start the thing in actual fact, but all the groundwork, all the paperwork, all the documentation, all the everything, that ministry will handle it. So I'm really, really, really happy that that she was, featured, and she was able to articulate on this particular project because they're working extremely hard to make sure that projects come through climate change and climate resilience and so on. So kudos to you there, the Honorable Kieran James. At this point, let us move to St. Patrick. Let's look at the refurbished and expanded Grenada Seventh-day Adventist Comprehensive School. And you know what I love about this piece? Our Minister of Education, just as my good friend, the Honorable Ron Redhead, I could recall vividly when the Monkuma Road was being opened or commissioned. The Honorable Ron Redhead gave commendation or credit to the previous administration for starting the project, and to the NDC administration for continuing the project. And I could recall some of those NNP pundits. They were very angry that he didn't give more credit to the past administration. But mind you, when the past administration was in power and the inherited projects that the NDC worked hard to get on stream, they never gave credit to the NDC. But it speaks to the maturity of this government You had the Honorable Ron Redhead giving credit to the past administration for starting the Monkuma Road, and the NDC came and finished the Monkuma Road. Here you have it again, the Honorable David Andrew giving credit to the past administration for starting that project at the SDA Comprehensive School, and giving credit to the government for continuing the project, making sure that it's completed. And that is the level of maturity you want to see in a government, because you always find those small-minded people in the NNP always trying to take credit for something that the NNP started. And in some instances, they started the project or so, and it dragged, and it took the NDC to come and quickly implement and complete the project. But the NDC is very mature where that is concerned. So I want to commend them on that.
The Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture officially handed over the newly refurbished and expanded Grenada SDA Comprehensive School in Mount Rose St. Patrick recently. Annette Moore has the details in this report.
The EC $8.3 million project is titled The Expansion and Refurbishment of the Grenada SDA Comprehensive School. It was funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of Grenada under Phase 1 of the Grenada Education Enhancement Project. Work began on the school on July 21, 2021. During the handing over ceremony, manager of the Grenada SDA Comprehensive School, Dr. Clinton Lewis, says the school is now healed.
That the former administration for this very unique experience.
The Education Minister complimented the principal and staff for enduring the tough times with grace.
We are happy that the former administration saw it fit to embark on this project, and we are quite happy as an incoming government to see it come to fruition. The real value is in the quality of educational output that this results in.
The Education Minister also thanked the contractor for the high quality of work produced. The engineer for the project was Dwayne Noel of VICAP Engineering Consultants Limited, and the contractor was Kenny's Trucking and Equipment Services Limited. The improvements for the ground floor of Block A, the existing building, include a refurbished and repurposed home economics room, food and nutrition room, classroom, vice principal's office, and guidance counselor's office. The library, original staff room, and computer lab were refurbished but remained in their previous locations. Upstairs, the existing 8 classrooms and timber stage were all refurbished, with the stage being demolished and rebuilt. The doors and windows were replaced, along with the handrails and the roof structure. In the new block, Block B, a 2-story L-shaped reinforced concrete building was constructed facing the main road. At the ground floor level, there is 1 classroom, a textiles, clothing and fashion room, a multi-purpose lab, and a building technology lab. On the first floor of the new block, there is an administration section with a staff room, principal's office and secretary's office, a technical drawing lab, and a multi-purpose lab. Each technical space includes a teacher's office and storeroom, with the multi-purpose lab being equipped with living material storage and a preparation room. Principal of the Grenada SDA Comprehensive School, Kim Linda Koto, says the school has gained significant lab space, an extra classroom, a family and resource management room, and will now offer the clothing, textiles, and fashion subject, which many students have been clamoring for. With a staff of 25, the new staff room can now house all teachers instead of 10, which the previous staff room could have accommodated. Those who utilize the school daily are now breathing a sigh of relief as they move into the new and refurbished facilities dubbed the Promised Land.
I'm the head of department for the technical department at the Grenada SDA Comprehensive School. I teach technical drawing and building and furniture technology. With the new wing, we have a computer lab that will be able to house the computers and we'll be able to function effectively using the computers to do the AutoCAD program for the technical drawing in particular. in the BFT lab, which is the Building and Furniture Technology lab, we do have now a lot of space we can work with. We have many workbenches. Again, we can have groups, and it would be clustered as how it's now. So we are very appreciative and looking forward to that as well.
My name is Horace Prasad, and I have been a past teacher of this school. I served there for 25 years. I'm happy because we had one lab and we could have only used 16 students. We only had 16 workstations. Now I check one lab had 18 and the other lab had at least 30 students could work in the other lab. So I'm happy, especially for the science department.
From September, I really look forward to enjoying the labs because we really needed it this term and the previous terms. We have SBAs to be completed, so I'm really looking forward to getting that done. And just being in a new environment, yeah, I'm really pleased about that.
I am Kimlin Dikoto. I am the principal at the Grenada SDA Comprehensive School. We must thank the government of Grenada and the Caribbean Development Bank, because that partnership is what funded this project. I'm looking forward to September, where we can be together in one place with one focus, more settled in more comfortable surroundings, and we are very, very grateful to have this received this gift. Coming in here, looking at the surroundings, knowing that this is where you are going to work, should be a motivator.
In his remarks at the handing over ceremony, Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick East, Honourable Dennis Cornwall, says he's elated at the achievement.
But I haven't seen the progress made by the Grenada Montrose SDA Comprehensive School. I would say that the SDA school in Montrose is second to none. And therefore, I want the kids to take advantage of everything that's available here today. And we will ensure, as part of the government, that the pieces that are missing today, including the playing field and the resource center, to make sure that you have a complete education right here in St. Patrick. So you can attract the students from Roselle, Montrose, Versailles, Hermitage, La Poterie, anywhere in the vicinity to come to the school and be able to get quality education.
Amanette Moore.
Yes, thank you very much there, Ms. Moore, for that piece. Really detailed. Thank you sincerely. So I really love the maturity of the government, because you see, government is a continuum. A government loses the election, or a party loses the election, they're no longer in government, they start a project. The party who comes in should continue the project and make sure that it's completed once it's a good project. And what we are seeing with the NDC administration, they're continuing the projects that they met, and they're introducing new projects, or they're expanding in some instance on what they met. So I'm really, really elated. I'm really happy to see that take place, because we could recall vividly the NDC of old. When they came in, there were some things that had to be stopped, some things that had to be, it was really problematic, because it was a wreck when the NNP left. I mean, the NNP left everything broken, and it was difficult for the NDC to get off the ground the last time wrong. But this time, it's a different strategy. It's a different strategy. And with the Ministry of Implementation and Transformation, Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation, things are getting done faster. You realize, for example, that project, that road close to the fall edge, either the culvert or some kind of broken, maybe culvert, or this big hole, sinkhole, or whatever hole that was there with all the heavy rains and so on. Within no time, the Minister of Implementation got to work to get the job done. And that is remarkable. In fact, on Saturday night, I was heading down south, and I saw the minister, parliamentary rep first and foremost, and Minister of Mobilization and Implementation. That's the Honorable Andy Williams. He was out there during the nighttime. And you're getting that appreciation from people, because during the NNP time in power, we seldomly saw ministers of government, period, much less to have them out there on projects during the nighttime. When they finish at the ministerial complexes home, right, in the big houses and, the electric gates and so on, we were not seeing them hands on doing stuff. And that is why I get angry from time to time when you hear people come out and say, well, I didn't see that minister. I didn't see that minister or this minister or that minister. And I said, but you don't have to always see them, yes, but you're seeing them and you're seeing the government at work. And the ministers are not just leaving it for the technocrats to do, but they are present. They're there. I see them so often featured on the news or, on GIS specifically, highlighting what they're doing. But when you go around the country, you're seeing those ministers involved in the thing. In fact, the Honorable Ron Redded was out there with men, doing work on the weekend, for example, a couple of days ago. In other words, you see the Honorable Tevin Andrews, you see him in the field, the Honorable Gloria Thomas and the Honorable Delma Thomas. You see them on the ground in the field with the people, the Honorable Adrian Augustus Thomas. Is that Adrian Augustine Thomas or Adrian? All right. Adrian Persuader Thomas, right? Out there in the field with the farmers, with the fisher folks, that our beloved Prime Minister in the field, in the community, walking, interacting, listening, just name it. You see the same thing for the Honorable Joseph Cornwall, right? Dennis Cornwall, sorry, the Honorable Joseph Andel. You're seeing that from all of them. They're there, they're with you. The constituency in some areas are big. So the only how you would know that they're in that part is if it's featured, if it's highlighted, right? So we have to appreciate what we have. We have a government at work, and we are seeing them, we're hearing about them, they're featured, they're doing what they must do, and we have to commend them for that. Because these things don't happen often. Normally, when those ministers of old, ministers in the past, when they finish their stuff in the ministry, they're gone home. They don't have time to go and oversee a project or make sure that the project is completed. They're gone. But the NDC is doing it differently. And that is why I say to our people, let us applaud them and appreciate them. Do not tear them down. Do not pull them down. There are too many people whose mindset is so negative that the only thing they can see is something bad or something negative to talk about or to complain about. But the good things, they would not talk about it. I was saying to a friend, when a person is charged for something, they're plastered all over the newspaper. And when they go to trial and they are found not guilty, so when they're free, meaning that they're not guilty for the crime that they were accused of, do you know that they have to pay the newspapers to feature that, to say that they are not guilty, to say that they never committed the crime or they won their case? They have to pay them to feature it. And that is the mindset, I believe, of all people. We are only focusing on the negative things. And when the good things happen, they are not highlighted, they're not showcased. So our children and children, they grow up with the same kind of mentality. We have to start, putting our people out there, showcasing our people, the good things that they're doing. And this young government, this young team, they're doing an excellent job. People often say appreciation comes from the outside. So you're doing, you're not getting the appreciation from within. But somebody outside would applaud, would speak highly about you. That is what we are seeing. So when our prime minister or those ministers go outside to represent Grenada, they're appreciated, they're loved, you see it on all the news. right? But when it comes to Grenada, our ministers are doing a phenomenal job, a good job within the different constituencies. Within Grenada, we need to start showcasing that. We need to start highlighting that, talking more about that. It is very, very important. I mean, gone are the days with this whole, beggy, dependent kind of thing. You go into an office and you want to see the minister because you want to beg the minister for something, right? That was the culture that the NNP brought on. That is what they really had going. But we want to make our people independent. We want to make our people be at that place where they can do things for themselves and feed their family and take care of their home and be independent. Because every time you have to go and ask somebody for something, the day the person says, I cannot give you, then you may get vexed and then you may go hungry, right? You may starve. Your light might be disconnected and that kind of thing. But if you're able to fetch for yourself, if you're able to independently provide for your home and everything like that, then you could be all good, right? So again, I want to encourage your people to understand and appreciate what we have going for us here in Grenada. Yes, you will find people out there who would always complain, always bad talk, always bad mouth, right? Always negative. But in the midst of all of that, we, the people, home and abroad, can remain positive and highlight the good things that are happening in Grenada. I was on the beach yesterday, and there was this nice lady. There was a little activity there that I was invited to, and there was this nice lady. She said, "Wow," she said, "Can you imagine that?" She lived in the United States for about 53 years, I think she said. She's back home, and she said, "Can you imagine this young team achieved far more within that short space of time than the NNP did in all 20-something years?" And that is from her observation, right? Things are happening. Things are being transformed. It will take some time, but I am convinced we are on the right track, the right path. So again, congratulations to this young team of men and women, and we encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. As a friend said, you do, they're going to talk. You ain't do, they're going to talk. So continue doing. It's simple like that. You will not get everybody to like you. You will not get everybody on your side. But at the end of the day, what you want is good for your community, good for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I want to highlight, showcase another good thing. Carnival is around the corner, and people will buy food on the roadside or at different hotspots, right? And training the people who prepare the food is important to be hygienic, to customer service, how to treat people, how to package and all these different things. That's very important because I know of a lot of people who complain of getting food poisoning and so on, right? So it's so important. So the government embark upon that training. And let me just highlight that.
More than 20 food handlers are now medically cleared and trained to prepare food for the carnival season and beyond, following their participation in a 2-day 9-module training by the Environmental Health Department in the Ministry of Health. The training, which concluded on Thursday, focused on food safety, personal hygiene, safe food storage practices, cleaning and sanitizing, vector control, and food security legislation. It is geared toward creating a safer environment through which food is prepared and consumed. The annual training is done to provide individuals with certified badges to prepare and sell food daily and during carnival and other events. Participants Lynette Andrews, Brandon Edwards, and Valerie Francis are optimistic that it will improve their business. They are thankful to the Ministry of Health for the opportunity to be better food handlers.
I think the training was very informative. I think many people who is in the food handling area should really take the opportunity to come to this training whenever the ministry is carrying out these trainings. It's very informative. You learn a lot of things what you should and should not have be doing. One thing that stood out for me is cleanliness. When coming to how you keep your business, how you do everything, cleanliness was one of the most basic points what was carried out through the training. So cleanliness.
I find it was very informative, and it put me in a position to better serve customers, and it helped me to be more aware of the different foodborne disease and illnesses we have out there that we're not aware of. And sometimes we think we probably get it from water, or we probably get it from something, and it just could be normal preparation home for our own consumption, or could be something we might have purchased on the street. So it enlightened me in terms of that. I wasn't aware of so much foodborne illnesses. I will encourage persons to take advantage of training of this nature. It will put the nation in a position where we'll have a lot of less complications, I should say.
I currently do food, but I have not attended the food safety training. Previously, this is my first time. I was also thinking of vending for the carnival, so I thought it would be a great idea to attend the training course so that I would learn the aspects of food handling. This training was very important, and anybody who's thinking of food handling should definitely attend this course. Now that I know so much more, I mean, some of the things you do, you think, oh, you're doing it the right way, until you come to the training and you realize, for example, you might wash your hands, but you have to wash your hands for 30 seconds and rinse it for about 30 seconds. So, you know, it's eye-opening.
Right, and that's a very, very good thing if you ask me. Very, very good. Particularly with, the carnival season here. In fact, a number of events, activities, and so on already got on the way. So it's a really good thing, and I hope they continue that. The Bolio Village Council meeting is today at Spice Basket underneath the bandstand at 6:30 p.m. So again, Pamela Adolphus and the team, what they're doing in that community is really great. So they're inviting the members of that community to come out and be a part of that meeting, the village council meeting in Bolio there at the Spice Basket underneath the bandstand at 6:30 p.m. today. Folks, I want to again encourage you to support this program, and for those who pledge their finances to keep it going, I want to ask you to try to honor that. Many a times you pledge, and I know you have to get your stuff out of the way. First, I want to encourage you, you pledge your financial support to the continuation of the program. Please try your best to see if you can honor that. All right, see if you can honor that commitment at least during this week, because today is already the 5th of the month. So if you have not yet communicated with me to say, hey, Kem, sometime during this week or a particular day, try to see if you could honor that commitment, because it's important to keep things going. The bills must be paid. And those who are listening and want to give to the program, to support the program, you can. All you need to do is to WhatsApp me on 415-4817, 415-4817. And once you WhatsApp me there, I could provide you the information you can send your little contribution to the program via MoneyGram or Western Union. So again, it's important that you give financially to keep the program going. If you have not yet given, but you listen, you follow the program, you could WhatsApp, you could call me, and we'll link up and, take it from there, because it requires finance to keep it on air and to keep it going. All right. And a little can go a long, long way in making sure the program remains on, well, the programs remain on air. Because remember, we have the morning program and we have the night program. So I'll be on tonight, starting from 8 in the PM. I was not on Monday because I went up on the western side. And then the Tuesday was a public holiday here in Grenada, and I don't do programs on a public holiday. That's yesterday. So I'll be back tonight with you starting from 8 in the PM. And I want to encourage you to remain positive in light of everything, right? In light of everything, remain positive and continue to promote the good things that are happening in the country. There are a lot of people who live by the negative stuff. All they want is to hear bad news, bad things about Grenada, so that they can call some program to complain or to talk ill about something. That's how they function. But we have to change that by highlighting the positive things, because that was missing for a long, long time. And I'm trying my utmost to bring that back, where we can speak about the positive things that are happening in Grenada, Carriacou, and the PT Martinique. Because, for example, the seed program, the poor relief assistance program, it's not a pension. So you hear certain elements within the opposition talking about the people pension. That's not a pension. The people who are receiving that money, in many instances, did not work for that money. A pension, you work for it. You work over a period of time and you get a pension. And they cannot deny you that. It's yours. You work for it. You're entitled to it. But the poor relief assistance program, it's a relief. It's a poor relief assistance they're giving you. They're giving you an assistance, right? So that whole recertification started off where they're cleaning the list, purging the list. And they purged the list to a certain extent, and they were able to add 500 more people to that list. And they're still doing the recertification. And they're still adding people once they meet the requirement to be a part of the program. But you have those NNP surrogates and pundits. They're not going to highlight the fact that the program was purged or clean, or they're cleaning the program, cleaning, removing who ought not to be on the list, and 500 more people who needed to be on the list were added to the list. That's a good thing. But those pundits and surrogates will not talk about a good thing. So there's a program or a project, they would look for just that flaw, that little problem to talk about, and forget about the good things that are happening with that program or project. So that is what has become a trend or a mindset here in Grenada. All right. So I am saying, let us talk some more about the good things that are happening for people. Look, for example, the NDC as a party has not been able to go out there in the diaspora and organize events so successfully. But with this new team of men and women who make up the NDC, they're able to go to all those different places where Grenadians reside, where our people live, and have very successful events. That's a good thing. It says that the party is intact. The party is connected. The party is working. So you have the New York chapter of the NDC. They're doing a fantastic job. We saw the gala that they put down. This was massive. You have the Deacon Mitchell support group. They're doing a fantastic job. We have the Florida chapter of the NDC. We saw the event that they put down, right? They did a remarkable job, all right? Then you look at Canada, the NDC support group there. Look at what they did only recently on the weekend. We must commend them and applaud them. And then we have the UK chapter of the NDC. They're planning a gala event, a big event, sometime during this year. So NDC is alive and well, and they're able to get stuff done, which is really, really good. And I want to applaud the party. It means that the party is more vibrant, more organized, because the NNP is fighting to organize little things, to get little things done, the NNP. And they can't, they have not been able to successfully do that. But the NDC has been able to do it, and we have to give them commendation, right? The entire party and senior rank of the rank senior people within the party, right? You're doing a fantastic job. So again, keep it up. Folks, I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program. I want to wish you all the best. I will be back with you tonight, God's willing, at 8 in the p.m. So bye for now, bye for now, bye for now. We have to wrap it up at this point in time.
The proceeding was a paid program. The views expressed on this program are those